Gökçe, Associate Professor, Chair of the ESOL programs. On behalf of the ESL students and faculty, welcome to the 4th Annual International Day here at Westchester EOC. I would like to acknowledge Ms. Gina Gaines, Associate Dean and Director of WEOC, Ms. Christy Velasco, Assistant Dean for Student Affairs, Ms. Maria Buada, Assistant Dean for Academic Affairs, Ms. Cynthia Nuizu, Program Administrator, counselors, WEOC staff, and faculty. The United States of America was built upon the extraordinary and unique contributions of many different racial and ethnic groups that came to this country from all over the world. Westchester EOC is synonymous with diversity, and we strive to be a place where everyone belongs and where everyone feels a sense of self-worth despite the differences. International Day is a celebration of our wonderful diversity. There are 25 countries represented here by our students and staff, and 13 different languages are spoken. Please sit back, be comfortable, and enjoy our show. We will begin with a parade of nations, which will offer an opportunity to admire the national costumes of 18 countries, starting with Colombia. One of the most famous places of traditional clothing in Colombia is the polera colora, which is worn by women. This piece of clothing is a brightly colored skirt, which is worn with a matching blouse with sleeves that sit low on the arms and leave the shoulders uncovered. Both the blouse and skirt are adorned with ruffles and lace of multicolored ribbons. The material of the skirt comes in a multitude of designs and colors, ranging from floral prints to strips of various colors, or just white. Colombia is represented by Alba Vanegas from English for the Workplace. The Dominican Republic. The traditional Dominican garment, still worn by women of the island, consists of a floor-length skirt in a bright color or pattern, shown, or rather known as a jupe, layered over a flattering white cotton blouse. The neck, sleeves, and hem of the blouse are often trimmed in lace and singular bands of colored ribbon for added detail. Today, the dresses mirror the colors of the Dominican flag with bands of red, white, and blue. The outfit of a man consists of a white shirt opened at the neck, worn over black pants, and a straw hat with a small brim. The Dominican Republic is represented by Vanessa Jacques, Oscarlin Santana Bautista, ESOL 2, David Fersola Mejia, Julio Hernandez Sosa, Dalida Peguero de Padilla, and Milady Valdez from English for the Workplace program, as well as Kenia Clase, Maria Hernandez, and Amarilis Vasquez from English for Business Health Careers program. Ecuador. The Ecuadorian woman's dress is the closest to the Inca costumes worn in the Andes. The typical dress for women includes a white blouse with or without decoration, a blue skirt, and a shawl. Jewelry is very important. Layers of necklaces of predominantly gold beads and red coral bracelets are the most common form. Men wear dark pants and a shirt called guayabera and a small sombrero. Representing Ecuador are Eugenia Abad from English for Business Health Careers and Victoria Villon Coello, a graduate from the English for Business Health in December 2015. Egypt, the land of pharaohs and Cleopatra, located along the River Nile, is the gift of the most ancient civilization on earth. Traditional dress of Egypt is the legacy of ancient kings and queens. The basic form of female clothing was a simple dress called kalasiris. It was a tube of cloth sewn along one side with one or two shoulder straps, also used to adorn themselves by magnificent jewelry and ornaments. Tinted lips and cheeks with red ochre, and lined eyes and brows with black kohl were the integral features of the makeup. In addition to wigs and varying hairstyles, Egyptians wore different types of caps and head coverings to enhance their grace. Representing Egypt are Nala Hana and Nevin Bassoum. El Salvador. In El Salvador, there are different types of costumes, of which the majority are used in religious or other festivals. In female clothing, it is common to see a skirt and a blouse or a dress in the colors of the national flag. The flag consists of two blue horizontal stripes with a white stripe in the middle. The blue bands symbolize the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea, while the white band represents the land between the two bodies of water, as well as peace and prosperity. El Salvador is represented by Sandra Fuentes, a student in ESOL Level 1. Ethiopia. Permanent features of the traditional dress of Ethiopia, which symbolizes the colors of Ethiopian culture, include antique jewelry, particular hairstyles, and exclusive style of embroidery on the dresses. Our student, Mahilet Amsal, from English for the Workplace, is wearing the typical Ethiopian costume worn by women. She's also wearing a matching necklace and matching earrings. Ghana. The kente cloth is one of the national garbs for men in Ghana. Kente fabric is made of hand-loomed strips of brilliantly colored fabric with intricate designs that are 3 to 4 inches in width. The strips are sewn together by hand or machine, giving the kente a plaid appearance. Men wear the cloth in much the same way as the toga was worn by the ancient Greeks. Every design has a story with a proverbial meaning. Kente cloth is usually worn for ceremonies, festivals, and other special events by kings and commoners alike. Yao Apau, from English for the Workplace, is representing Ghana. Guatemala. The native dress of the Mayans, which is called traje, may vary by village and language group, as well as colors, emblems, and styles. Bold colors like red, blues, yellows, and pinks are found on the types of dress. Women wear straight wrap-around skirts or gathered full skirts held up by a woven rope-like belt. Women also wear a traditional square-cut blouse made with colored embroidered designs. Representing Guatemala is Maria Calderon from English for Business Health Careers program. Guyana, unfortunately, the representative of Guyana could not be here today. Honduras. The traditional clothing that is worn in Honduras is mainly used in festivals and certain celebrations. The traditional clothes worn by women are usually white, handmade dresses with the seams decorated with various colors of yarn or fabric. The dresses are full and have ruffles at the neck, sleeves, and at the bottom, which are decorated with ribbons of different colors or lace. Representing Honduras is Meris Euseda from English for the Workplace program. India. India is represented by Ms. Lisa Augustine, Assistant Professor, Chair of Allied Health. She is wearing a sari, a traditional female garment in India. A sari is a strip of unstitched fabric ranging from 4 to 9 meters in length. The material varies in terms of weaves, fibers, and colors. The most common style for the sari is to be wrapped around the waist, with one end then draped over the shoulder, bearing the midriff, the way Professor Augustine is wearing it today. Jamaica. Our student unfortunately could not join us for the Parade of Nations, but later she will participate by reciting a Jamaican poem. Mexico. In Mexico, the typical clothes worn by women are called china poblana, a red and green skirt adorned with sequins and covering several layers of petticoats and a white blouse. Covering the top of the body is a rebozo, a kind of big scarf or shawl crossed over the chest. Mothers carried their babies in the rebozo. Today, the traditional costume got somewhat modernized, and it is worn during special holidays and events, and it bears the colors of the Mexican flag, red, white, and green. Esmeralda Cardoso from ESOL Level 2 is representing Mexico. Morocco. The traditional dress for women in Morocco is called jalaba, a long, loose hooded garment with full sleeves. The jalaba has a hood that comes to a point. They also wear kaftans decorated with ornaments. The difference between jalaba and the kaftan is that the kaftan does not have a hood. Rashida Senhaj from ESOL Level 2 is representing Morocco, wearing her beautiful kaftan. Peru. Peru is an amazing country for culture, dramatic landscapes, variety colors, handcrafts, and people, especially the traditional colorful costumes they wear on special occasions. The traditional costumes are an important part of Peruvian culture, and they mark the differences between regional areas and how influences melded over time. The traditional dress worn by Quechua women today is a mixture of styles from pre-Spanish days and Spanish colonial peasant dress. Representing Peru is Bertha Sins from English for Business Health Careers. She is wearing a white blouse decorated with floral needlepoint embroidery. Puerto Rico. The Commonwealth of Puerto Rico may be a U.S. territory, but it has a rich culture and heritage all its own. The traditional dress of Puerto Rico is an amazing blend of Jibaro, Bomba, and Plena cultures, but the Spanish, Caribbean, and the Latin American influences are also reflected. Women wear colorful flowing long skirts, low-cut white blouses, and sandals. Abigail Quiñones Rosario from ESOL 2 is representing Puerto Rico. Scotland. Ms. Brenda Paiva, Assistant Professor, Chair of Developmental and Academic Programs, is wearing a sash in the traditional Scottish tartan pattern. A tartan is a check-like pattern or a set which is repeated over and over again until the desired length of cloth is produced. For several centuries, tartan remained part of everyday garb of the Highlander. While tartan was worn in other parts of Scotland, it was in the Highlands that its development continued and became the symbol of clan kinship. Each clan was represented by a different color combination and pattern. Professor Paiva is a descendant of the Clay clan Hay. Yemen. Yemeni men often use Western-style clothing today, but some men still wear traditional Yemeni attire, such as a thobe and a shema. A thobe is a loose ankle-length garment with long sleeves. Such robe-like garments are common among Arab countries, and Yemen is no exception. Traditional Yemeni thobes are white, beige, brown, gray. Light colors and natural fabrics are used to cope with the hot sun. A shema is a piece of material that is wrapped around the head, commonly worn by Arabic or Middle Eastern desert dwellers to protect them from the sun. In Yemen, the shema is used extensively in both red and white and black and white patterns. Representing Yemen is Abdul Rahman Yosef from English for the Workplace program. And we are happy to have with us here today a Westchester EOC alumnus and former ESL graduate, Yahya Saeed. The second part of our show is the artistic performances, and they will provide you with entertainment while introducing you to different cultures through poetry, music, and dance. Poetry. The poem titled Mi Breda, or My Brother in English, was written in Patois language by the Jamaican poet Louise Bennett. It is the story of a woman who had been offered a job subsequent to a successful interview, only to suffer the indignity of being denied the position when she reported for work. The distraught woman calls her brother and complains to him about the unfortunate events and asks for help. Let's listen to Anne Young Lester from Accelerated High School Equivalence Program recite the poem in Patois.
My Brother by Louise Bennett. Oh, no, call my brother for me. Beg you tell him come here quick. Beg you tell him bring the pelter king cow card we come bust the old mistake. Me not make no joke with you, no, missus. Quick come Bristol and pay me off. Or else call my brother and you make him beat you till you soft. You answer to me advertisement. Come wait in the yard for me. Come tell me how the work no hard and how the pay is big. Me never like your face. But when my brother tell me that your husband is a nice man, me decide to take the walk. Me oversleep this morning, never wait till after 8. It's a taxi me have to take to come here to hinder me from late. I know you come from full say you don't want me. You don't call my brother for me. You will have to pay me 2 weeks notice plus me taxi fare. You will have to beg me pardon loud, make all the neighbors here. And you will have to tell me brother why me not get the work. Why you say? You don't like to know me brother. Me don't like to know him too. But from me born a whole of me one me parents got. Ay, ay, ay.
Venezuela's cuatro. The cuatro, Venezuela's cultural heritage, is a four-string wooden musical instrument of far-off origin. It arrived in Venezuela at the same time with the earlier conquerors. It is totally handmade. It is similar in shape and tuning to a ukulele, but their character and playing technique is vastly different. A cuatro player is called a cuatrista. Please give a warm welcome to our cuatrista, Din Maria Boada, who will be performing the song Pararillo.
Pajarillo.
Dance. Cortadores. One interesting aspect of the culture of El Salvador is the traditional dances that they perform. They tell a story and are magnificent renditions of their history and culture. Sandra Fuentes from ESOL Level 1 is going to perform the dance called Cortadores, which shows the process of picking coffee beans. El Salvador is a coffee-producing country. Sandra was 10 years old when she and her sister started going up the mountain with their mother to pick coffee beans. This dance is performed every year on September 15, Independence Day, in El Salvador. Helping her perform the dance is David Fersola Mejia from English for the Workplace. Thank you very much. Cumbia. Colombia is credited with the origins of cumbia music and dance. Cumbia originated in Colombia's Caribbean coastal region from the musical and cultural fusion of native Colombians Africans and the Spanish during colonial times. Cumbia began as a courtship dance, practiced among the African population, and later it was mixed with Amerindian steps and European and African instruments. Our student, Alba Vanegas from English for the Workplace, will demonstrate the dance Cumbia. Or merengue típico is a musical genre of the Dominican Republic, and it is considered to be the oldest style of merengue still performed today. The origins date back to 1850s. It is a provocative, fast-tempo music danced with fast-swaying hip movements. The dance Perico Ripiao will be performed by Julio Hernandez Sosa and Dalida Paguero de Padilla from English for the Workplace, as well as Vanessa Jaques from ESOL Level 2. Our next dance is merengue. In contrast with Perico Ripiao, merengue is relaxed and sensuous. It is sometimes called the national dance of the Dominican Republic. Up until the 1930s, the music was considered immoral. Merengue nevertheless prevailed, and during the dictatorship of Rafael Leonidas Trujillo, merengue was embraced as a national music by all classes of Dominicans. Our merengue dancers are Kenia Clase from English for Business Health Careers with Oscarlin Santana Batista, ESOL 2, as well as Maria Hernandez from English for Business Health Careers and David Fersola Mejia from English for the Workplace program. Bachata is our next dance, sorry. It finds its origins in the Dominican Republic, and it grows out of emotions in Caribbean music like romance and heartbreak, similar to the blues in American music. So bachata's popularity in the countryside increased, and it became a very popular dance throughout the Dominican Republic. Bachata will be demonstrated by Amarilis Vasquez from English for Business Health Careers and Julio Hernandez Sosa from English for the Workplace Program. And now comes Mangulina. And dancing Mangulina is Milady Valdez from English for the Workplace, joined by all the other Dominican students. Our last dance today is Tigrina, an old cultural dance from Ethiopia. The dance movement involves hands, feet, and neck and shoulder movements. People dance alone in a circle, and everyone has the same movement. The dance form is a great way to express emotions. It involves teamwork. The dance itself is about appreciating one another. It has a lot of energy and expresses commitment to the family and society. The dance Tigrinya will be performed by Mahilet Amsel from English for the Workplace Program. our show. Thank you all for coming. And thank you to all of you who participated in our show, as well as everyone who helped make this International Day a success. Please help yourselves with some refreshments before you leave. And thank you all for coming. Okay, our director, Gina Gaines, would like to speak to you.
Thank you, Professor Boche, for pulling this together with your academic affairs team. You all look beautiful. You look really great. You did a fantastic job. It's great to take a moment to celebrate all of the little differences we have in all of our cultures, but at the same time celebrate how many things that are in common, how everybody has a dress, how everybody has a dance to celebrate their work or to help them with their work or celebrate the wonderful things that are happening in their culture. So thank you for taking the time to celebrate everyone today, to celebrate all of the differences, to celebrate all of the things that we have in common. And as we go through our day, let's just remember all of those things that we do have in common and how we're all children, no matter what race or culture or religion you celebrate. There's things that we all have in common.
Okay, so please help yourselves to some refreshments.